On this channel, Million Dollars Made Easy, I want to share with why I started this channel. When I saw this stat, probably a little over a year ago, this was Vanguard balances, and I saw that the median account balance for somebody 65 years old or older was only $87,000. And I thought, what? You work your whole career and that's all you have? So I decided to start looking at what the S&P 500 has done for the last 100 years because that's the index that everybody's trying to beat. And so I just thought, well, let's see what it's done for the last 100 years. I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a numbers guy. But I said, I'm going to set up some spreadsheets to see how this would have worked and how it might work in the future. Because I don't think it's going to be much worse or much better than what's done in the past century, folks. I just don't believe it's going to be worse than the Depression years. I don't think it's probably worse than these years. It's probably not going to be better than 1980s and 1990s. These are the actual returns for the S&P 500. The reds are negative, the greens are positive. So I just decided I'm going to set up a spreadsheet and start running numbers for people. And I was flabbergasted when I saw, remember, Vanguard average 65 or median account balance for 65 is 87,000. Watch what happens. I'm just going to do one thing here. I'm just going to put in somebody would start maybe right out of college at age 22 or something. Just put $100 a month in. $100 a month. That's all. Never do anything different. $100 a month for 45 years, because if you're 20 years old, by the time you're 45 years later, you'd be 65. And what I did is ran the numbers and I go, this is insane. What I've done is I've color coded. Anytime it's over $1 million is in green. Look at how many times in the last 100 years, if the returns were like 1924, again, they're not going to be identical, but this sure gives us a range. In fact, the range is right here, by the way. This is the absolute minimum you're going to find in this column, 735,000. That's the actual absolute maximum, and that's the median in this column. But look how many times you had over $1 million. Folks, this is just $100 a month. And I says, people need to know this. This is insane. It's 87,000 people are retiring with, and they could have these kind of numbers if they start young enough and just stick $100 a month in. As I've developed this channel, I've come up with a lot of different options for people. For example, if you want to increase that amount you put in each year because you're going to get raises, $100, 103, and so on. Let's go ahead and update this. Remember, the minimum in this is 735. Let's see if some of the 40-year columns start turning green on us. In other words, having $1 million, just increasing that from 100 to 103. I haven't run this ahead of time. I'm just going to see if we have some greens in the 40-year column. Look at that. Look at that. But folks, remember when this is. This is going through the Depression years. This is going through all these reds, and yet after 40 years, contributing just $100 a month, increasing that by 103. Look how many times. Let me just show you a few more here. A few more greens going down through. This is the 40-year column now. $100 a month. $100 a month. I'm just blown away when I saw these numbers. I've got to let people know. So what I've done is set this up so you can put in any amount you want. Let's go back to the $100 a month, and let's say every fifth year, after 5 years, you're going to increase that to $200 a month. And then the 11th year, 5 years later, you're going to do $300 a month. This is what we can do on this channel. We can run numbers for you all day long. You just tell me what numbers you want me to run, and I'll run them. Let's just do this. Now let's just stop here. I'm going to update this one. We're going to see $100 for the first 5 years, $200 for the next 5 years, $300, and so on. Let's see how that would impact all these different numbers. Again, I realize it might be tough when you're first starting out to come up with much more than $100 a month. But as your job progresses and you make raises, look at this. In the 35-year column, again, the worst case scenario you're going to see in this column is 553,000. This is in the 35-year column now. Look how many times you get over 2 million in the 40-year column. And there's a few times you'd be over the 3 million column in the 45-year, $3 million in the 45-year column. But that's what I like to do for people. I love to run numbers for them. Everybody's situation is unique. I granted that. I'm going to go ahead and set this back again to the $100 a month. And let's just say you're not just starting out. Say you may be 35 years old and you've already been able to accumulate Let's say you've accumulated 35,000. I just want to show you the kind of things we can do. And you want to contribute $250 a month and you want to increase that 3% a year, let's go ahead and run those numbers now. Let's see how many greens we get. Again, we call this channel $1,000,000 Made Easy because I want people to see how easy it is to get to $1,000,000. It doesn't cost you near as much as you think. Here we go. Starting with 35,000, a 35-year-old probably looking at a 35 or a 30-year column when you're 65. Look at that. How many times you'd have over $1 million? How many times you'd have over $2 million? Let me just show you a few more here. Basically 1 and 2 million all the way through that 30-year column. Just doing that simple $250 a month, increasing that 3%. You've already been able to accumulate 35,000 by hit and miss investments. You just stick it in the S&P 500 and look what happens. That's what I like to do for people. I love to run numbers for them. Please consider subscribing to this channel. Let people know, that everybody you know, that there's a channel out there that will run numbers. Any kind of scenario you can dream up in the accumulation stage, and we'll just run numbers and see how often you would get to $1 million. Just running the numbers for you. Please subscribe, please share, please like the video, and thanks for watching.